So apparently you can apply the rules 100% and that still might not be good enough for CrossFit. Kind of makes you wonder why we have a rule book. Welcome back to another, I'll be honest, unplanned video. Thank you everyone who's watched the last videos, those of you who have liked, subscribed, left comments, followed me on Instagram. I really appreciate it. I am seeing the growth of the channel. If you haven't done those things, please do. It really helps me out. Now, another thing I like to ask in the videos is if you see a story that you think is interesting or you'd like more information on, some more context, somebody to do a little bit of digging, or maybe it's just a story that needs a little bit more attention, send it my way so I can make a video on it. And that's what's happened today. Tom, who's also known as Chalking Fitness, he sent me a very interesting Instagram post, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. So this was from Viktor Langsved. And it's spelled with an A, but that A with a little O above it, that's kind of like an O sound. So it is Langsved. So Viktor was part of Team CrossFit Nordic. They will be competing at Strength in Depth very shortly. Now, I say he was a part of that team, and that's because CrossFit have actually kicked him out. They've said he doesn't qualify to be a member of that team. So let's just add a little context to the teams in general. So the team competition used to be kind of ignored within the CrossFit Games world. But then they moved down to 4-person teams. It was a lot easier to follow. And then a man by the name of Rich Froning Jr., you may have heard of him, well, he went team, and teams started to get a lot more attention. There was a short period of time where we had super teams. That meant you just basically needed to get your 4 fittest friends together, and that was a team. But we've now shifted back to the Affiliate Cup. So there are certain requirements that you have to meet in order to be part of your team that is linked to an affiliate. So Affiliate Cup. It makes sense, right? And this year, there's a big story, right? Everyone is wondering, can CrossFit Reykjavik take on Mayhem? Can anybody dethrone Rich Froning? Maybe it's Annie and her team. Now, we're going to come back to CrossFit Reykjavik and actually to Mayhem in a minute. But what happened to Viktor? That's what we want to know. So I'd just like to read you some of his post that is actually a copy of the letter that he sent to CrossFit after the decision they made to remove him from the team. So he starts by talking about kind of his history within CrossFit and CrossFit competition, and then he starts to talk about the fact that Alexander and Antonia reached out and asked if he wanted to join their team. He said yes, and that they wanted to do this 100%. They had this goal of top 5 at the CrossFit Games, and that meant they needed to be doing everything 100%. And it's interesting, he stresses, not just 100% with our training, but also following the rule book to 100%. So they needed to do their research. Now, he lived a 90-minute drive away, so it was a big sacrifice for him. He had to speak to his partner to see whether or not they'd be able to do this. And he says, I replanned my whole life, my work, training, time with family, my dogs, everything. Fast forward 5 months later, and they've now disqualified him. But he says he's been driving down to Stockholm and CrossFit Nordic 2 to 3 times every week. He's been sleeping at Alexander's place many times, and he's gotten the chance to be a part of the CrossFit Nordics community, which has been awesome. And that's really a key part, because this is maybe where the issue is arising, is that whether or not CrossFit feels he is part of the community of CrossFit Nordic. It should be for the affiliate. So he talks about how he feels about all of this, and it's absolutely understandable, his feelings. But, we're trying to be impartial, right? We're trying to see, well, what's the reality of the situation? What do the rules say? And this is the issue. So they're talking about the rules. I'll have them up here now on the bottom of the screen. But he says that we've provided you with everything you've asked for. We sent you a file with more than 1 gigabyte worth of evidence. Pictures, clips, bank transactions, parking tickets, lunch receipts, attendance logs, 120 plus signatures from CrossFit Nordic members. So again, really the affiliate is backing this. Jenny and Ricard, the owners, they've sent an email confirming that they followed the rules since day 1. So they've provided an abundance of evidence. And that this evidence is actually over what the rule book requires. He goes into more detail about kind of the percentages because of how much time actually has to be spent within the gym, but he just kind of does a little bit of maths in there just to show how, again, it all works out that absolutely they've done it. But then he talks about the conversation that CrossFit actually had with them. So they didn't accept, basically, the evidence that was given. So when they asked, well, why were the attendance logs weren't accepted as evidence, because the rule book says that this is something that can be, they said, well, anyone can fake an attendance log. Okay, then why is that put in as part of the rule book? When they asked about the social media posts, well, once again, social media can be fake. So once again, why is that included in the rule book? And in the end, they finish with this sentiment, which is a little bit strange, because they say, well, this wasn't the idea of the affiliate cup. People driving 90 minutes to other gyms. It's supposed to be for the affiliates. Okay, that sort of makes sense. I kind of get that. But, as he mentions that, well, in the rulebook, it talks about you needing to live within a 100-mile radius of the affiliate. And he does. So it's within the rules, but here we're introducing a principle or a feeling about the affiliate cup that isn't stated in the rules. And at this point, if we start feeling this way, well, now we have to start looking at the other teams, right? So we've got Reykjavik, okay? That's a team made up of Khan Porter from Australia, and then we've got some Americans. We have Tola Morocchino, we have Lauren Fisher, and then, of course, Annie Forsdottir, who is Icelandic. But that means that only one of the 4 members of that team even speaks the language of the country that the affiliate is located in. Now, before you say, yeah, but everyone in Iceland speaks English, one, no, they don't. And if they do speak English, it will be to varying degrees. Even ask Annie about her initial interviews when she was first on the circuit at the games compared to now. People need to practice their English to get better, right? And 2, even if you do speak English maybe as your second language or third language, it's not the same as when you get to hang around with people speaking your mother tongue, is it? So were they a part of the affiliate? Were they part of the community? I don't know, maybe. What about Mayhem? We know that the members of Team Mayhem are not residents of Cookville all year. They travel up for the season and they stay there for the season, and then they go back to their lives wherever else it may be. But it's within the rules. And also, if you're thinking on behalf of the affiliate, imagine how you would feel if you were at that affiliate and these incredible athletes turn up and they're going to spend months training around you, inspiring you, maybe giving you tips, advice, working out together. That can be a real boon for an affiliate, right? So the principle is still there. It is for the affiliate. They're having to show a dedication to that affiliate, being willing to travel or to move to train at that affiliate for the required amount of time, as stated in the rulebook, to qualify to be a part of that team for the CrossFit Games. Now, whether you feel personally that they're kind of cheating the system a little bit, and yeah, that's not the principle, that's not the point of the Affiliate Cup, it's kind of irrelevant, right? Because that is the rules. That's what's in the rule book. And if we think, well, CrossFit have the discretion to be able to kind of apply the principle of the rule, if maybe the exact rule doesn't quite fit to the situation, or they haven't been able to express the rules in a way to really highlight what they mean. Well, as soon as we start saying things like that, well, maybe now we need to revisit the Annika Greer incident. So she was late in submitting her score due to an error, thinking that maybe she'd already submitted it. And despite the fact that she was able to provide evidence and proof that she had definitely completed the workout before the deadline and there had been this mistake in submitting her score, the letter of the law was she was late. Therefore, they didn't accept her score. And while we can feel sorry for Annika and we can think that's a pretty, bad situation and we understand how she must feel, that is the rule, right? And if they want to apply the rule, that's the rule. But you're not applying the rules in Viktor's case. Why not? As of now, CrossFit haven't responded to this letter, so nothing has changed. What has been nice has been to see the community rally behind Viktor and the team. We've seen people like Pat Vellner commenting on the post. Even Khan Porter, who theoretically would be his competition if he made it to the games, has commented. And on the one hand, I'd love to see that because all these athletes got behind him, CrossFit reconsidered and somehow solved the problem, fixed the situation. In reality, it's probably a little bit too late. We're too close to Strength in Depth kicking off maybe for that to happen. But, we live in hope, don't we? Although, on the other hand, if that did happen, once again, it would be maybe an indication that CrossFit does play favorites, that they listen to certain people's voices and not others, and that would be a real shame, wouldn't it? But whatever happens, CrossFit Nordic will be going to Strength in Depth. Unfortunately, it will probably be without Viktor, but we wish them all the best at that semi-final. I'll be there to be able to cheer them on in person, which I'm really looking forward to. And as for Viktor, well, we wish him the best in whatever the next season is going to look like for him. So thank you everyone for watching. Once again, please like, subscribe, share this video around, especially if you feel that maybe Viktor's story needs a little bit more of a spotlight put upon it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.